On January 6, 2021, America's fault lines were laid bare.
USA! USA! USA!
The seat of American democracy besieged by a lynch mob intent on overturning a democratic election, fueled by a president who wouldn't accept the results.
The radical left knows exactly what they're doing. They're ruthless, and it's time that somebody did something about it.
Joe Biden, still refusing to refer to Trump by name, marked the anniversary with the strongest rebuke yet to his predecessor.
For the first time in our history, a president had not just lost an election, he tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power as a violent mob reached the Capitol. But they failed. They failed.
Biden's stark speech underscored how differently the date was regarded by the two Americas. For Democrats, it was a moment of traumatic reflection.
I viscerally feel the pounding on the gallery doors. I hear the shot ringing out, and I remember not knowing if I would make it out of our seat of democracy alive or if our democracy itself would survive.
For Republicans, the day was largely ignored, the party's leadership absent, save for the endangered few who still stand against Trump.
The future of the country is at stake.
Donald Trump announced, then cancelled a press conference, as the country's right-wing media either looked away from the date or dismissed its importance.
We were here live on that day last year when a small group of people preceded and splintered away from the over 100,000 peaceful protesters who simply wanted their voices heard.
In DC, many expressed fear that the guardrails that had preserved democracy once may not be there again.
I wouldn't say that I feel more confident that that couldn't happen again in the future.
I don't know if we can count on the Supreme Court to protect our rights as voters.
I'm very concerned about the future of our democracy.
With this November's midterms likely to deliver a Republican Congress and the party under the power of the former president, for many January 6 is not a singular moment in time, but a sign of America's future.
On this day of remembrance, we must make sure that such attack never happens again.
US political reporter Steve Clemens joins us now from Washington, D.C. Steve, Joe Biden sees himself as a uniting figure and has avoided criticising Trump whenever possible. So why has he suddenly changed gears?
Well, because I think Donald Trump's legend is still out there. January 6th was horrible for some, but it was also a testament to what a big impact and, how much sizzle Donald Trump had. And I think that he feels pressure from Donald Trump, who might run again in 2024. And so he's trying to basically recast what the meaning and purpose of Donald Trump is in America, from being, not this legendary figure, but to being, someone close to a criminal in the eyes of Joe Biden.
Steve, the United States seems anything but at the moment. So how does a country deal with something of this scale if they can't even agree that it happened?
Well, exactly. I mean, some people call it an insurrection and others just call it a stop the steal party. I mean, there are really very different takes on what happened. And honestly, there's no easy magic wand that's going to make this go away. I mean, we've been a year since then. And if anything, if you're honest, America has not solved this problem. We are, if anything, more deeply divided than we were on January 6th. And I think, my guess is the only thing that makes it go away is finally to begin talking about real problems, kitchen table economics, help people solve issues at home that they may be having so they can get their, minds and heads off of this. But we have a lot of people in America who want to pin blame on those responsible for January 6th. And you have a lot of other people who still deify Donald Trump. And it is a bit like a cult, but that division is very real and widening in America.
The US Attorney General has said that he'll hold all those responsible for the January 6 attack to account. Could that include charging Trump?
Absolutely. I mean, Donald Trump, even Mitch McConnell, the Senate Majority Leader, a Republican in Donald Trump's party, around the time of the insurrection after January 6th, said that Donald Trump, after he left office, could be found criminally liable. Not to say he was, but he could be found that. I think Merrick Garland could go that direction. We don't know what evidence they have, but as we know from the January 6th Commission, which has not just Democrats, but also famously Liz Cheney, that we're getting more and more of the conversations and the messaging between players and getting a bigger picture of what Donald Trump did, which was to watch this big show on TV, and what he didn't do, which was try to stop this.
Steve, there's plenty of talk that this could all happen again, the events of January 6, 2021. What does this say about where America is at right now?
Well, I asked the Congressman Joaquin Castro that very question the other day, and I said, when he, tweeted out pictures of himself barricaded, many congressmen fleeing, hiding from what was going on, and whether they felt safe there today. And all of them that have talked to me, including Congressman Castro, say the place is different. It doesn't feel the same. And some of them do feel very unsafe, like this could happen again. What I think in my gut is we're not likely to see an overt attack on the U.S. Capitol again, but the forces that we saw unleashed that day are likely to play a very corrosive and horrible role in American politics down the road and go underground. So rather than seeing an explosion like a volcano in one place in one day, you see a lot of things. We see a rise in political violence in the United States throughout the country. And that's going to be a real challenge for Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, as he tries to unwind and unplug a lot of these groups and how they fund themselves and what they do. But I think it's going to go underground. I think it's going to be with us for a very long time. And we'll see explosions here and there, but not necessarily just at the United States Capitol.
So happy days then.
Absolutely. We'll be back at this again, I'm sure.
All right, Steve, keep your head down and thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.